Good morning, everybody. We've got a higher trade in the grain markets here on Wednesday morning. It is 6:32 a.m. Central Time. December corn futures are up 3 3/4 at 388 3/4. November soybeans up 4 cents at 1048. December Chicago wheat up 4 at 596 3/4. December Kansas City wheat up 4 3/4 at 539. December spring wheat up 3.5 at 541 3/4. Corn, soybean, and wheat futures posted fresh multi-month highs yesterday. Really some pretty phenomenal stuff here. I think traders clearly believe that we will see a friendly report from USDA on Friday. I think that a lot of people believe that the corn and soybean yield numbers will be cut. I think that we know, of course, that the September 1 stocks numbers will be lighter than they were in the last report. And I think that is at least partially driving price action. Now, aside from that, there is some trade chatter here this morning, and actually yesterday too, suggesting that China bought another 5 to 7 cargoes of U.S. soybeans. That sort of chatter certainly has a tendency to drive price action. I wouldn't be surprised if there were some corn sales in here too, based on price action. But we will see what is ultimately reported, if anything. Most of the time when we see this sort of stuff, it does turn up. It does end up being an actual sale. Sometimes the amounts are wrong, so we'll see what's actually reported, if anything. Fund traders continue to build a very aggressive long across the grain complex here. CFTC's numbers are basically irrelevant at this point. The most recent data set was accurate as of last Tuesday, which of course was the day before that big USDA report that rallied the market. So we're left to kind of use the private estimates here. Private groups estimating that funds were record long 271,000 contracts of soybeans at yesterday's close. The previous record was 241,000 from back in, I think, 2011. Funds were estimated to be net long 146,000 contracts of corn. That's getting a little bit more aggressive here. And net long 48,000 contracts of SRW wheat. That's a pretty aggressive net long in the SRW wheat relative to what we've seen here the last several years. We will see another set of ethanol data here from EIA later this morning. Things still really not that great here in terms of ethanol production. As of last week, the 4-week rolling average was still 7% below the same week last year. Gasoline demand's running 6 or 7% below the same week last year. So still not a lot of good things going on in ethanol. We still haven't seen the big, we've seen a big recovery, but we're not back to pre-virus levels, put it that way. Farmers in Argentina say that recent tax cuts favor crushers and won't increase farmer selling. There had been some chatter that these tax cuts could unleash this wave of selling from Argentina farmers who are still sitting on a lot of beans. Basically, what one farmer said in the news wires here: we will continue to hold on to crops and sell only when we need cash. Farmers and farm groups are angry that the tax cuts were not equally applied to both farmers and processors. The way that they did it, they cut taxes more on exports of meal and oil than they did on the raw soybean product. So I guess that's the story today, although it could obviously change. Looks like Brazil's going to catch some rains. There's been some chatter and forecasts regarding dryness in Mato Grosso, and planting there is slower than normal. Beginning early next week, it looks like you'll see some relief in that region. Traders will continue to watch these forecasts and see if they verify. Rains across much of the Ukraine over the last couple of weeks have improved winter wheat planting conditions. There had been a lot of concern regarding building dryness. So rains in the last few days of September into October certainly helping the situation there. Some rains will return to the U.S. Corn Belt and the plains also early next week. It looks like this is going to be kind of like a one and done system, though. You'll see this system enter in the West on Sunday into Monday and kind of exit by Wednesday. It's not going to bring a lot of rain. If there's any accumulation at all, it's going to be in western Iowa, Minnesota mostly. Really not much accumulation at all expected anywhere else. So, and then beyond that, things still look pretty dry. So still a very dry pattern in play here for the Corn Belt and for the plains and really most of the country. President Trump has gone back and forth regarding this stimulus bill since just yesterday afternoon. So early yesterday afternoon, Trump tweeted that he would reject a stimulus bill that would bail out poorly run, poorly run, high crime Democrat states, and he would instead focus full-time on approving his new Supreme Court justice. That's what he said yesterday, and that sent the stock market sharply lower, caused a whole bunch of chaos here short term. Now, overnight and this morning, Trump kind of changed his tune. He tweeted, "If I am sent a standalone bill for stimulus checks, $1,200, they will go out to our great people immediately. I am ready to sign right now." So the stock market has recovered slightly. A lot of back and forth. This stimulus deal has been a big driver of action in the stock market, especially. Spot month corn futures trade their best level since January this morning. Again, I think the trade's preparing for a friendly report, maybe a yield cut, maybe some new export news as well. These are some prices. When you look at the board this morning, these are prices that 2 months ago nobody thought we'd ever see this year. It's really a phenomenal contra-seasonal rally. It's the most pronounced contra-seasonal rally in the corn market since 2010, as I've discussed before. Some areas to look out for on the chart. You look at the weekly chart. You go back to 2019, this 394 up to say 402 zone in spot month futures, which is the December contract right now. That's an area to keep an eye on. Spot month soybean futures trading their best level since April 2018 overnight. That's really phenomenal. Continued Chinese demand, strong domestic crush, ideas of a smaller U.S. crop. They've all contributed to price action. I'd say that this dryness in Brazil, the late start to the planting season there, certainly an issue. Wheat market's got a lot going for it. Short-term dryness in the Black Sea, which again I did discuss the rains in Ukraine, but still an issue there. Dryness in the U.S. is definitely an issue, and there's really not much relief in sight at all. And I think the row crop rally has certainly helped the wheat market also. Cattle futures were mixed yesterday. I think there was some light cash cattle trade at 107 in the Western Corn Belt. Not enough to really say that we've got any sort of trend going yet this week. Ahead of the cash open, the Dow Jones is up 180 points. The S&P's up 20. Bonds down almost a full handle. U.S. dollars up just a few ticks. Crude oil's down $1.22 at $39.55 in the November contract. If you'd like some more information, as always, visit my website, www.standardgrain.com. Go to that website, click on Grain Marketing Plan. If you would like to know when, how, and specifically I am pricing corn, soybeans, and wheat throughout the year, broken down by crop year, and by percentage, check out that subscription service. It includes my morning email that goes out every day at 6:30 Central Time, and also includes a text message service that will provide you with updates throughout the day and also updates when I'm marketing grain. So check that out. You can cancel it at any time. If you're looking for some improvement or some direction, maybe that would be a good deal to get started on. Everyone have a great day today. I will talk to you same time tomorrow.